Hello, video game viewers. I am the video game viewer bringing you the review of Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is a 2012 open-world action-adventure video game developed by United Front Games in conjunction with Square Enix London Studios and published by Square Enix. It is currently available for PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. Sleeping Dogs takes place in Hong Kong and focuses on an undercover operation to infiltrate the Triads. Core gameplay of Sleeping Dogs consists of giving the player an open-world environment in which to move around freely. Sleeping Dogs is played as an over-the-shoulder, third-person action game with role-playing elements. The player controls Wei Shen, a Chinese-American police officer, as he goes undercover to infiltrate the Sun On Yi Triad organization, a reference to the real-life Triad gang Sun Yi On. On foot, the player character has the ability to walk, run, jump, climb over obstacles, and swim, as well as use weapons and martial arts skills in combat. Players are also capable of driving a variety of vehicles, including automobiles, boats, and motorcycles. The combat system heavily revolves around hand-to-hand fighting, with strong influences from Batman Arkham Asylum's free-flow combat. The cover system allows the player to deftly move between cover, to fire blindly, aim freely, and target a specific enemy. The individual body parts can also be targeted. The driving segments were inspired by the Need for Speed series, with several developers having worked on previous Need for Speed titles. Sleeping Dogs features role-playing elements with 3 different experience points: Triad XP, Face XP, and Police XP. Triad XP and Police XP measure Wei's devotion to the Triad and Police, respectively, while Face XP is a measure of his general reputation. Clothing, accessories, and vehicles are available for purchase by Wei and have an effect on non-player character reactions. Sleeping Dogs tracks acquired skills in areas such as hand-to-hand combat, which improves through use in the game. Although there is no multiplayer component, the game features online stats and leaderboards so players can compare scores. Open-world games are marvels of modern technology, and as such they usually have issues that are condoned in favor of the bigger picture. Simplistic melee, sloppy gunplay, or loose driving can be ignored if everything else is strong. Sleeping Dogs makes no such concessions. It attempts to top the rest by borrowing from the best in the genre, taking cues from many recent open-world games, from Arkham City to Just Cause 2, to make for an extremely sexy Frankenstein monster of a game. Calling it a GTA clone ignores how advanced the game is, compared to even Grand Theft Auto 4. At first, it certainly does appear to be inspired by Rockstar's popular series, with protagonist Wei Shen thrown into a life of crime and asked to do horrendous things to progress the plot, but quickly it reveals itself to be much more than that. The small details make a big difference, both in terms of story and gameplay. Shen has understandable motives that extend far beyond simply trying to make a bunch of money. He's not an amoral killer, he's a cop, thrown into the middle of something big, and that stress gets to him quickly, creating a well-developed, likable character. You'll constantly be passed between different members of the Triad as you work your way toward the top of the food chain, all the while needing to balance out your work with the police, making for entertaining, albeit slightly repetitive, missions. The characters you work for lack the colorful flair of those found in games like Grand Theft Auto, and you'll never feel that connected to any of them, even if you fall for the undercover cop angle, which definitely adds to the tried and true open world story formula. As a player, it also means trying to balance the cop and triad side of things, with different missions rewarding you with bonus points depending on how the levels are being played. Kill everyone and destroy everything, and your brutal actions will earn you triad points, which can be used to access powerful brutal abilities, whereas playing things more professionally will unlock equally powerful cop abilities. New melee attacks, awesome weapon skills, and driving bonuses are just some of the upgrades Wei gains access to in his quest to earn the trust of his fellow gang members and the police. Each element has some rough edges, from an occasional finicky camera to sometimes inconsistent collision detection, but the problems were never enough to keep me down for more than a few seconds. Melee is as brutal as it is well developed. Wei can take on limitless foes, waiting until they're about to strike before executing a brutal counterattack. He can also go on the offensive too, using dozens of abilities and combos to break the arms and legs of his opponents. The more varied his attacks are, the higher his face meter rises, eventually causing his enemies to flinch once they've seen exactly how powerful the Triad member is. And of course there's driving, which is much smoother than it is in most others in the genre. Besides being able to drift around corners and shoot out enemy tires, causing them to flip through the air and explode, obviously, we can also smash into enemy vehicles to disable them, or even leap from one car to another, carjacking them while they're speeding down the highway. It's extremely amusing to jump from car to car, making the driving segments of the game much more enjoyable than those found in other open world games. When all of these elements mix together, with a dash of parkour thrown in for good measure, Sleeping Dogs rises to the top, surpassing nearly every other sandbox style game. Every single action is so entertaining that I'd go looking for trouble just as an excuse to use our fun melee takedowns, awesome gunplay, and fantastic driving skills. Thankfully, the game provides bountiful opportunities to use these skills, both in the game's lengthy campaign, which takes some 15 hours to complete, and the plentiful side missions, which can easily tack on another 10. Doing favors for pedestrians or busting drug dealers kept us constantly engaged, making it difficult to ever put the controller down. When Sleeping Dogs grabs a hold of you, it absolutely refuses to let go. You'll be amazed by the sheer amount of content and how compelled you'll be to consume every drop of it. You'll want to unlock every costume, complete every side mission, and play until there isn't a drop of Hong Kong left for you to see. After being renamed, delayed, cancelled, sold, bought, and then renamed again, all in the course of 4 years, Sleeping Dogs had every excuse in the world to be a letdown. But just like Wei Shen, it's empowered by its tumultuous past, and much more than it appears at a glance. This Sleeping Dog is sure not the sleeper hit of the year, but its bark matches its bite, and I'm giving Sleeping Dogs an 8.9 out of 10. If you like what you saw here, guys, subscribe for more goodness and hit that like button because that always helps me. Then come on over and check me out on Facebook. The link will be below. This has been the Video Game Viewer. Thanks for watching.